Scrooge, Part 2. It will take 4 unearthly visitations to change Scrooge. Over the course of much of the novel, the ghosts of Jacob Marley and Christmases past, present, and future will warn, encourage, admonish, and terrify Scrooge into total submission. The fact that it takes this many ghosts and a long stretch of visions demonstrate what a tough nut to crack Scrooge really is. We gain further insights into Scrooge's character during his encounter with his deceased business partner Marley. Initially, he is sceptical of Marley's ghost, which affirms his suspicious nature, always on the lookout for anything being a humbug. There's also further affirmation of the overriding importance of money in Scrooge's worldview, when he compliments Marley on being a good man of business. But there's also an inquisitive side to Scrooge. He's interested in how far Marley has travelled, why he is chained, and the cause of the wailing noises outside his window. Had Marley been the only ghost to visit Scrooge, he would not have changed at all. But it's striking that almost immediately, on being taken back to his childhood, Scrooge shows clear signs of changing. His lip trembles, there's a tear on his cheek, and he shows pity for his younger self. True, it's still himself, but it's the first sign of a sympathetic emotion. As readers, we also change our view of Scrooge to a more sympathetic one, as we begin to empathise and re-evaluate our understanding. Before Scrooge can reconnect with society, he has to be reconnected with himself. So, he is reminded of the simple love of his sister, the joy he used to have at Christmas time, and, agonisingly, how he once had romantic love with Belle before throwing it away due to his fear of poverty. Clearly, the past is distressing to Scrooge, and he unsuccessfully tries to return to his previous state of deep denial by attempting to block the revealing light of the ghost at the end of stave 2, but fails to do so. By the time the ghost of Christmas Present turns up, Scrooge is much changed. He is meek and humble in the ghost's presence, and prepared to go with the spirit. This time, Scrooge learns to empathise with others, from family members to his employee, and, in particular, Bob's son Tim, to others who, like him, are on the margins of society, but who nevertheless make space for love and companionship. Significantly, Scrooge says less in this chapter and listens more. By seeing the world as it really is, rather than just as he thinks it is, Scrooge's prejudices are challenged. It's particularly evident when on 2 occasions his heartless words about the poor from early in the counting house are thrown back at him by the ghost. For the final spirit, the sinister ghost of Christmas yet to come, Scrooge is practically imploring the spirit to lead on. The reluctant pupil has now become eager to listen and learn. He has cast aside his scepticism and has become fully involved with his lessons. Nevertheless, there is to be no backsliding, so Scrooge is shown uncompromisingly exactly what will happen if he reverts back to his old ways. Scrooge is horrified and appalled by his treatment after death. Dickens does little to spare his character or his readers the brutal reality. It almost seems cruel and unnecessary to confront Scrooge with his own corpse and grave, but such is the cold hardness of the man, extreme tactics are required. It certainly works. The proud, scornful Scrooge of stave 1 is reduced to a gibbering wreck, begging for mercy by his own grave. He is a broken man brought to the brink of complete and utter hopelessness. Scrooge disowns his old self completely and earnestly promises to be not the man I was.